Hey everyone, it's Jeff with Bramblez Gaming. How you guys doing today? Are you new to Paladin Tanking? If you are, stay tuned. We're going to talk about Paladin Tanking levels 1 through 50. Tanking is probably the easiest of all the jobs in my opinion. Keep hate, use cooldowns to help the healer, and let the DPS do their job. Easy, right? Some people are afraid of letting people down by getting killed or the party wipes. Well, guess what? Shit happens. It's how you learn. Most people won't care. Some are scared to set the pace and lead. Well, most dungeons are straightforward, guys. First up, we're going to talk about defensive cooldowns and defensive tanking. Let's start with roll abilities. On the screen are the roll abilities I use. Rampart. It's the first defensive cooldown you get as a gladiator at level 8. It reduces damage taken by 20% with a recast timer of 90 seconds. It's a good cooldown that can be used often, and please do. Low Blow. It stuns the target for 5 seconds with a recast timer of 25 seconds. I use this over Shield Bash since Low Blow is an off-global cooldown. Convalescence increases own HP recovery via healing magic by 20% with the recast timer of 2 minutes. You can get this at level 20. Use it, use it, use it. Your healer will thank you. Anticipation increases parry rate by 30% for 20 seconds with a recast timer of 60 seconds. It's not a great cooldown, but hey, parrying attack means less damage taken, right? Awareness nullifies the chance of suffering a critical damage hit for 25 seconds. It's not a great cooldown either, but not taking crit damage is awesome. Once you hit level 30 Gladiator, stop leveling and go become a Paladin. Get your oaths. Shield Oath reduces damage taken by 20%. It reduces damage dealt by 15%, but it increases enmity. Use it at the start of every dungeon. It reduces damage taken and helps keep hate. What more do you want? Sentinel. It reduces damage taken by 40%. It's a great cooldown. Has a recast time of 3 minutes. That sucks. But you do have other good cooldowns to use until this is back up. Bulwark. Increases block rate by 60%. It's another great cooldown. Again with another 3-minute recast. Hollowed Ground. This is your best defensive cooldown. It renders you impervious to most attacks for 10 seconds. By far the best, but it has a horrible 7-minute recast timer. It's kind of like Invincible for Paladin back in Final Fantasy XI. Alright, it's time to go over our offense. Time to kill some bad guys. Your enmity combo will consist of Fast Blade, which attacks for a potency of 160, Savage Blade, which attacks for a potency of a 100 by itself. Combo that with Fast Blade, and now the potency is 210 with an additional effect of increased enmity. At level 26 you get Rage of Alone. Attacks for a potency of 100. Combo that was Savage Blade, and now the potency is 270 with the additional effect of increased enmity. The enmity combo has a total potency of 640. Not bad, but you will get a better potency combo later on. You have another combo you can use once you start running dungeons. Fast Blade to Riot Blade. Riot Blade attacks for a potency of 100. Combo that with Fast Blade and the potency goes up to 240 with the additional effect restores MP. This combo has a total potency of 400 at the moment. You won't use this combo often unless you're spamming Flash so much that you run out of MP. Fight or Flight. Increases physical damage dealt by 25% with the 60-second cooldown. Flash, flash, flash. Flash will be your best friend as a tank. Use it and use it a lot. It creates hate and it also blinds the enemies for 12 seconds. Besides getting hate, enemies can't hit you if they're blind. Shield Lob. Throws your shield at an enemy with a potency of 120 and it also increases hate. Sword Oath. Deals additional damage with a potency of 75 after each auto attack. It's good, but don't use it unless you're soloing mobs you know you can kill, or trust your healer on a boss fight after generating enough hate. Spirits Within. It's a nice off-global cooldown attack that hits for a potency of 300. Now that potency will decrease when your HP decreases, so hopefully your HP is maxed out when the timer's back up. Total Eclipse. AoE attack with a potency of 110 to all nearby enemies. This attack is good. It eats up TP if used a lot. I try to only use it when I have 4 or more enemies. And at 50, you get Circle of Scorn, an AoE attack with a potency of 100 to all nearby enemies, with a 25-second recast timer. It increases hate, and it applies a dot with a potency of 30 for 15 seconds. Use it every 25 seconds. Alright, let's go over pulling. At the start of the dungeon, I will use Shield Oath. You may not have it if you're below 30, which is okay, just use Flash more. Use food if you have it, anything that raises crit damage or direct hit rate, plus an extra 3% XP is nice. Wait until the healer casts Protect on the party, and then start pulling. I will usually pull 2 groups of mobs anywhere between 5 and 8 enemies, as long as there is enough AoE damage. If you only want to pull the first set of mobs at a time, that's fine. You're the tank, you set the pace. Others may pull more enemies to you, and if that happens, that's up to you. Let them die or get hate. Me, being the good guy, I get the hate. Even though the Dark Knight voice in my head says, let them die. It's justice for pulling them. I will run up to a group of mobs and I'll use Flash, making sure I have all red dots on the enemy list, and will run to the next set of mobs. You don't have to. Kill the first set if that's your comfort level. Once you have the mobs, use your cooldowns, but don't spam them all at once. Use one. Once it's off, evaluate the situation to see if you need another cooldown. If so, use one. If not, wait. Below 30, you will have Rampart, Convalescence, and Anticipation. Just cycle through them. Once you get more, then use them. You will have enough cooldowns. I like to pair Anticipation and Awareness since they are weaker cooldowns in my opinion, but they are never my first cooldown in a fight. If Rampart falls off and I need more, I will use them. Once your first cooldown wears off, if you need healing, use Convalescence. Once you have flashed the mobs and used a cooldown, if you have 3 or less mobs, use your Enmity combo on a mob. Flash, then switch mob, Enmity combo, and flash. Repeat until they are dead. If you have 4 or more, use Total Eclipse 2 or 3 times. Flash, Eclipse 2 or 3 times. Repeat until you have 3 or less enemies, and then use Flash in your Enmity combo. Don't forget to throw in your off-global cooldowns when they are up. Oh, and make sure you dodge those AoEs too. Now for a boss fight, I will use Shield Lob to get hate. I'll run in and use Fast Blade, Fight or Flight. If global cooldown is ready, then I'll use Savage Blade. If it is not, then I'll use Circle of Scorn if you have it. Otherwise, use Savage Blade, Spirits Within, and Rage of Halone. Use defensive cooldowns during a tank buster. It'll take some time to learn the tank busters, but once you do, use your cooldowns. Keep using your Enmity combo and use your off-global cooldowns when ready. Once you have enough hate and you trust your healer, you can switch to Sword Oath, but I do not recommend it until you are confident as a tank and you trust your healer.